Khalid set off with Yamin, and together they walked toward the edge of the city where the land turned mountainous. To his surprise, Khalid saw countless young men and women working like swarms of ants. He was stunned by the sheer number of them and asked, "Do all these people work here?" "Yes, my friend," Yamin replied. "And there are thousands more working in other areas. Industry here is profitable." He pointed toward a spot nearby. "Here we cut stones from the mountains and turn them into uniform bricks, suitable for building houses. All these people work here, paid day by day. You and I will be among them. Our wage, 7 intelligence units per day. Does that sound fair to you?" Khalid smiled, then followed Yamin. "Come on, you have to prove you're worthy of the work." Khalid began his task alongside Yamin and the others, breaking stones with simple hand tools. It was work that demanded physical strength, something Khalid possessed in abundance. He swung the pickaxe with both hands, striking the rocks. When his first stone shattered, he looked over at Yamin. "We've officially started," he said, half to himself. Then, with a bitter chuckle, he thought, "From a bachelor's in commerce, to a pharmacy storeroom, to breaking rocks." He carried on, the others watching him with admiration, especially after Yamin challenged him to a contest. Who could split stones faster? Khalid stripped off his shirt, tied it around his waist, and his sweat-drenched body gleamed, muscles standing out as he worked. Everyone toiled, but all eyes were on Yamin and Khalid as they pushed themselves harder, their rivalry sparking the energy of the group. Eventually, they paused for a short rest. Khalid looked around again, more astonished than before, this time at the young women. They worked with grit, hauling heavy stones into carts. He turned to Yamin. "How can the girls manage such tough labor?" "There isn't a single girl in this city who doesn't work," Yamin explained. "Zikola's law exempts only children. Once a boy or girl turns 17, they fall under its rule. A young man must work for his wealth, and so must a young woman." He added, "Here, no one gives their intelligence to another without return. Even in marriage, a husband cannot save his wife from the law. She must work, or she will die, unless she finds another way. Inheritance." Khalid's eyes widened. "Inheritance?" "Yes. Here, inheritance is divided equally among the children." Khalid gave a faint smile. "So, inheritance means intelligence?" "What other wealth is there, my friend? When someone dies, their wealth automatically passes to their heirs. Now, let's get back to work." Khalid laughed lightly. "All right then." Hours passed as Khalid worked alongside Yamin until the sun began to set. Everyone stopped, exhaustion clearly showing on Khalid's face. Yamin laughed. "Are you tired?" Khalid smiled. "Of course, I'm not used to this kind of physical labor." Yamin chuckled. "You'll get used to it. Come on, we should leave." Khalid asked, "And our wages?" Yamin replied, "The moment we leave the worksite, our payment reaches us without us even noticing. As long as you've worked, your wage is secured." Khalid smiled faintly. "Zykola." Yamin then asked, "Where will you go? Shall we meet tonight?" Khalid suddenly remembered Asil. "No, I'll buy some food, then head to my spot by the lake." "All right then," Yamin said. Night fell, and Khalid went to find something to eat. As he sat in one of the taverns, he noticed that everyone there ate nothing but bread. The innkeeper approached him. "What would you like to eat, rich man?" Khalid smiled and asked for the prices. The man replied, "Bread is 1 unit, rice is 3, chicken 5, meat 8. Khalid then understood why everyone only had bread. He ordered chicken and bread, ate until he was satisfied, and then hurried off to the lake. He sat beneath the same tree where he always rested. Khalid sat by the water, wondering if Asil would come as she had promised, or if it was already too late. If she didn't show up, how would he ever meet her again, since his work ended with daylight? He muttered to himself, "Why do you want her to come, Khalid?" He answered, "I want to tell her my story." Maybe she could help me. She seems more intelligent and educated than the others. Then he asked himself again, "Isn't there another reason?" After a pause, he whispered, "No. No," then laughed softly, though his body ached from the day's effort. He remained there, waiting for Asil until time passed, and sleep finally overcame him. She never came. The next morning, Khalid rushed to his new job, only to be stopped by 3 men. One of them pulled out a knife. "Where's our share of your earnings?" the man demanded. Khalid frowned in confusion. "Your share?" "Yes," the man said coldly. 2 intelligence units from you, every day. Do you agree or not?" Khalid's anger rose. "For what in return?" "For our protection. I refuse." One of them punched him, and the group began beating him. Just then, Yamin happened to pass by. "Why are you attacking him?" Yamin shouted. "He refuses to pay us his share," one of them sneered. Yamin tried to pull Khalid free. "He'll pay. He will." Then he turned to Khalid, whose lips were bloodied. "Pay them the 2 units." Khalid looked at them bitterly. "Fine, I'll accept." The largest of them grinned. "Good." And they left. Breathing heavily, Khalid turned to Yamin. "Who are those people?" "They don't work. They force us to give them a share, or else they harm us." "They're criminals extorting money," Khalid snapped. "My brother, this is how we survive in Zykola. We're used to it." Khalid, furious, exclaimed, "You give away part of your intelligence just for protection? Where's the police?" Yamin shook his head. "They're not guilty of any crime. The law of Zykola doesn't punish them. They only seek to stay alive. And that does not contradict our laws. You'll have to pay 2 units every day. Accept it." Khalid shouted, "How can I work for 7 units a day, then hand over 2 just to protect myself? What will I eat with? What will remain for me? You'll have to work harder to earn more. Perhaps your large reserve from before you came here will help. You must have nearly 1,000 units stored. But my advice, never touch that reserve of intelligence. It is the only thing standing between you and poverty." Khalid muttered under his breath, "I hope so." Yamin smiled. "Come on then, back to work. How about a big challenge today?" Days passed, and Khalid worked with Yamin making bricks from stone. One day followed another. He woke up, went to his work, and paid 2 units for his protection. Then he would swing his axe against the rocks, his once soft hair growing a little longer, his beard and mustache covering his face, and his muscles growing stronger. Many of the townspeople had begun calling him the strong stranger. He wandered the streets, laughing with this one and that, ate chicken and bread as usual, then returned to the lake to throw himself into its waters, easing his body from the strain of work. And every day he waited for Asil, refusing Yamin's invitations at night, whispering to himself, "Perhaps she will come today." But the days slipped by, and she never came. At last, he realized she must have forgotten her promise to continue their conversation after that one and only meeting. Still, he stayed on the lakeshore until sleep overcame him, then woke to repeat the same routine the next day. His face regained its color, his pallor vanished, as though he had recovered the wealth he'd lost on his very first day in Zikola. One day, he turned to Yamin and said, "Yamin, I need pens and paper." Yamin stared at him in surprise. "For what?" Khalid answered, "There are things about Zikola I want to record. I should make use of my time here. It's already been a month." "Well then," Yamin replied, "I know a place you can go. You'll find Zikola's finest pens and papers there." He added proudly, "Of course no craft is better than Zikola's." It was a place where books are sold. I think you will find what you are looking for. Khalid wanted to capture his days in Zikola, memories in case he ever managed to leave, perhaps even a book that others could read one day. But there was another reason, too. He thought that if Asil came to the lake one evening and didn't find him, he could leave a note by his tree telling her about his work and that he had been waiting for her each night. That thought, more than anything, fueled his need for pen and paper. He went to the place Yamin described, knocked on the wooden door, and entered a large room lined with books, where an old man sat alone. Khalid was astonished at the sheer number of volumes stacked around him, until the old man spoke. "You must be the strong stranger." "Yes," Khalid replied. "But how did you know?" "I know many people of this city," the man answered. Khalid smiled and asked, "Who wrote all these books?" "They were written by the scholars of Zikola long ago," the old man said. "And some come from other lands. Zikola values both knowledge and work." "And have the people of Zykola read them?" Khalid asked. "Many of them have." "Then these books must have brought you great wealth." "Not that much," the old man sighed. "Books are very cheap here. Perhaps it was enough that I once sold a single book, unlike any other I've ever sold." Khalid leaned closer, curious. "Which book?" "It was bought from me at the highest price Zikola had ever seen." "Then it must have been a precious one," Khalid said in amazement. "I don't think so," the man chuckled. "At the time I had only read a few lines of it. But when I saw how badly the man wanted it, I demanded the highest price." He laughed softly and added, "It seems he loved fantasy." The book spoke of another land and of a myth called the Forik Vault,